Everyone, welcome to another video, and for those that don't know me already, my name is Katie, also known as Clean Coach Katie. I am a personal trainer and I work with a variety of clients, but predominantly I work with runners who like to become stronger, fitter and faster. Now today's video is a bit of a contradiction because although I've said that that's what I like to do with my clients, at the moment I am currently injured. So this video is going to be about Achilles pain and Achilles injury. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, I'm not a physiotherapist and I'm not a specialist to be able to sort of give advice on this subject. However, today I thought I'd put this video together just because I know that a few people are interested. They've sort of suffered with Achilles pain themselves or have an injury and just interested to know sort of how I've gone about sort of combating this injury that I've got. So a bit of background, I have suffered a lot in the past with shin splints, and a lot of this has probably been down to sometimes my biomechanics, but I think a lot down to tight calves. So the biomechanics might have, my sort of style of running might lead me to getting tighter calves. So that's always been a problem for me. So I've always tried to sort of combat that by doing yoga, stretching, foam rolling and getting regular sports massage. However, I have been mixing up my training over the last say year or so now, and included in that has been sort of interval training. So I've been picking up my speed and also I've been doing some cross-country work. So I have suffered with my Achilles twice in the past year or so, and they have both been after doing sort of cross-country running, where I've been running at speed and I've been running over sort of tough or undulating ground. So both of those have not lasted long. One of them I had I think it's called the subtalar joint, and that got locked, and I basically had that released by my physiotherapist and that was all good again. And then another one, I think I just had a week off of running, and it was just sort of inflammation more of the Achilles and sort of managing it. So I'm now 2 weeks into my injury, and this was after the Ultra 5K. So that's after the last video I've just done. Now, I really enjoyed the race. It was a great race, and it's nothing to do with the race itself. Well, it kind of is, but what I did is that it was 5 laps of 5K and I ran them basically all at speed because it was a race. The ground was very undulating, which I knew already. However, because of the weather that we've had in the UK at the moment, it's been really hot, the ground's been really hard. So there wasn't much give to the ground, and that is what's caused sort of my Achilles problems. So basically I think after the 3rd lap, I had a sports massage into my calf, and straight after that sort of my Achilles just sort of, it tight and I could feel the problems there. I finished the last 2 laps and straight after that, the inflammation just came up sort of straight away. It was so hot that day as well, so that could have had an effect on it. And basically I sort of struggled. I was limping them basically for the rest of the afternoon, which was a bit of a shame. So that's where I was at, and I sort of knew straight away. I was so gutted because during the race I was really confident because I was running at speed over undulation and I just felt good again and my confidence was back, and then obviously that happened, so a bit of a knockback. However, it's 2 weeks in and today it's the best that it's felt, and I managed an hour's run yesterday, so I'm really pleased with that after only sort of 13-14 days into my recovery. So this is what I've been doing to combat this pain. Number one was finding out what the problem was, because if you go onto Google, you search online, basically Google will tell you that you're dead. I don't care what you put into Google, basically anything that you say, it will just say that the worst, and that can put massive fear into you. I started Googling and it was saying that, you know, I'm going to have problems for ages, this is long term now, and that I could take months off. I've also seen, obviously you're drawn to things online, and I was having a look and other people were saying that they've been suffering with Achilles too, and they've like really struggled to overcome it as well, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want all this time off. But that was what I basically did. I met up with my physiotherapist and we basically saw if it was the joint that was locked that I had previously, and it's not that. So it was just inflammation of the Achilles, and I can only put it down to the race. So that was it. There's nothing much more I could do apart from the rest, which I'm going to tell you about now. So number 2, the hardest word, or it's like a swear word in the runner's dictionary, is to rest. Everyone, if you're a runner, if you're told to rest, you just don't like it. But I had to do that. You know, I was struggling to walk basically at some points. It was just the ankle just felt so stiff and tight that I just was struggling to sort of push it off of my ankle, so I knew I had to rest. So the first week I only ran twice. I think I gave it 3 days before I tested it for a run, and I just stayed local, and I just basically ran laps around my estate just to test it out. And then we were in Stockholm for the weekend, and we'd said that we'd go and do park runs, so I had to go and do that. So I only ran twice, and then this week just gone I upped it to 3 times. So that's a lot of a reduction from me, because I normally run sort of 5 or 6 days a week. So for me to only run twice in the first week, I was scratching at the walls. It was awful. But yes, second thing is just to rest. So number 3 is to cross train. I have done a lot of cross training in the past because I have been injured previously, so I sort of knew, and as a personal trainer I knew what I was doing. So I've done a couple of cardio based sessions. So I've done the cross trainer, I've done rowing machine, I've used sort of like the cycling bike, there's an assault bike at the other gym that I use, so that's been good, and also been doing some weight training. So I've just been mixing up my training just to keep my fitness up and just making sure that I keep sane basically. That's the only thing you can do with cross training, is just, you know, you're getting your heart rate going but in a different way. Because when you're, you know, if you're using a cross trainer or you're doing weights, I mean, it might not be as intense as running sometimes, especially weight training on your heart and sort of terms of cardio, but your heart and your lungs don't understand, like, they don't tell you what, it doesn't recognize that either you're running or you're weight training or you're on a cross trainer. All it knows is it's just been asked to work harder. So that's the idea around cross training. Number 4 is icing and also heat application. So I've read a lot online, and also my physiotherapists have said to use. So I've got an ice pack which I've just been using, trying to use twice a day. I've just been sort of 10 to 15 minutes, just been putting that on, and especially after any sort of activity or running, been trying to put it on after that. Twice a day is a minimum, but obviously sometimes it's quite difficult to do so. And then also a friend of mine, or a client of mine who is a nurse, has said to try heat application. I don't see how this can be a bad thing right now, but I'm obviously not doing heat and ice at the same time. But I used sort of deep heat rub last night, and my ankle felt quite good this morning. So, and after my run yesterday, pretty happy about that. So ice and heat. Number 5 is doing the exercises that are relevant to their area. So a lot of people neglect these. They'll go to see their physiotherapist, they'll give you some exercises to go home and take home and do it, and people don't do it. I don't understand this, because as runners we just want to get better, so why would you not do something which is basically going to rehab you to get better? But so the exercises that I've been using have been heel drops. So basically you stand with the balls of your toes on a step, and you can either keep your legs straight or you can also do them bent. You basically dropping your heels down, you're pushing back up again, dropping down and back up again. So do 10 to 20 on each leg, and then sort of build up as many as you can, really, just without sort of it being too painful. So at the start it was quite painful for me, so I was only doing sort of 10 on each side to start off with, but now I've been able to work up to a bit more because I'm feeling less pain. So you should also be doing these if you suffer with your Achilles, maybe even if you're not experiencing pain, but just to help sort of strengthen and rehab that area. So heel drops. I've also been using a resistance band, sort of movement around the ankle, just building stability and just getting the movement back into the joints. And then also I've been doing some one-legged stability weights just to help build up the strength in my ankle again. Sort of one leg shoulder press, one leg deadlifts, just anything where you're stabilized on one leg basically, and just challenging it, and you're asking the sort of all of the nerves and muscles all to respond and to move, just to try and help keep your balance. And the last one, number 6, is just to be patient. That's the hardest thing, again, with injuries, is being patient, but, you know, just trust the process. You'd rather sort of do everything that you need to and have a bit of time off than push it too quickly and be injured for longer. You know, this is all about sort of recovery and rehab and just getting back to a normal routine, and I have in the past pushed it too hard too quickly and then been out for further. So it's just be patient and don't push your body too quickly. Like, you might feel good, but don't push it even if you do feel great. So, you know, my ankle does feel quite good this morning. However, I ran on Saturday park run and an hour yesterday, and I'm not pushing it today, so I'm going to go cross train, and then tomorrow I'm going to try a run. So yeah, it's just taking things day by day and just assessing where you are and how you can get back to where you need to be again. But thank you very much for watching. I hope that you found this information useful. If you are currently suffering with Achilles pain or injury, please leave me a comment below if you've found any of this useful or if you've been able to try this out. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you all in the next video very soon.